Hello, everyone. This is your girl. This is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations, and we're on the road this week. So I thought I would stop in and stay consistent and give you some heads up. Today, the title is Why We Trade, Buy, and Sell. Okay, that's the topic of today. Why we trade, buy, and sell. Before we get started, excuse me, I'm going to get some water real quick. Oh, you guys, come on. Hold on. Okay. You know what? Asthma and allergies is something, but they're not going to win. I'm telling you. If you don't know me, my name is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations, and I was a very healthy person until COVID. And once I got COVID, and I got over COVID, the side effect was asthma and allergies. And I'm like, I saw there's dust everywhere. I have pets. There's so anyway, I'm gonna bite it. I'm gonna fight it. Y'all been with me. I've been doing 9 miles. Started with 3, did 6. This week I done did 28 miles. So I'm constantly have to drink fluids to keep together. But we got some good stuff for you tonight. If you're just joining on, I'm gonna start off with a silent word of prayer for Jamaica. Because if you know anyone who has been in a storm, the storm is after the storm. You brace for the storm, you live through the storm, and then after the storm is when all H breaks loose. No water, no food, no shelter. So I've living in Orlando, Florida. I have stood in line for 9 hours for food to be able to survive. I also have been had to stand in line for my parents because they were too old to stand in line. Okay. So I just want to stop for a quick moment because after the storm is over, they shouldn't be forgotten. So if you would just pause for a moment and let's wish Beautiful, who's one of our members, to also be able to withstand the pressure of the aftermath, please. Thank you so much. Okay, let me tell you something. You know, I like to tell you something. I'm going to tell you about this millionaire club that we have right here. You know, this is called Evelyn's Creations Boot Camp. If this is your first time, you're behind the scenes with the international fashion designer. My heart has been led to empower as many people as possible all over the world to become the best that they could be and to be in the millionaire club. Okay. Now, the reason I say the millionaire club, because millions is not a lot of money as you think it is. And I want to empower everyone under my watch to at least be in the millionaire club. Okay. There is 45 people that have signed up to exceed over $1 million. Okay. That means they've taken up interest in me, they believed in me, and they become members. So everybody who's watching tonight, it wouldn't be no Evelyn's Creations boot camp if it wasn't for these 45 members. Now, last week I made a mistake. I was just only saying their first name. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? That's not right. We need to be telling your whole name because you put some skin in the game. Now, the people that are watching me, skin in the game means you became a member. It costs $2.99 to be a member. And what that does is that allows you to come in and we can buy volume so we can do more and you can get big discounts. Okay. And you can't do it with 5 people. We need thousands of people to become members that we can save thousands of dollars. So before we get into what is trade, buying and selling, you need to know this. If you're not a member and you want to be a member or you're just curious, please stay to the end and make sure that that you get this. I'm traveling this week. I'm actually in Alabama at my sister-in-law's house. So I borrowed her one of her bare rooms. And so this is a little bit different background. So that's where I am right now. Okay. Okay, here we go. I got a little animal. She's trying to keep up with us. I was like, stop it. Okay. Barbara Gary, Miss T from Mississippi, Blessings 247, Donna Marshall, Shamira Customs, Terry Love, Pearl Lucas, Jasmine Robinson, Constance Clinton, Christine Williams Wardrobe, Miriam, Gianna's Hodgepodge, Pink Pizzazz Boutique, Jean Robinson, Jackie Gurley, Yvette Butchman, Laura Farr, Sonia Harding, Linda Brown, Brenda Stepney, Florence McBio, Enfield, Kiki Salisbury 1, Alice Sandra Behart, Newly Refined Decisions, Vanessa Purnell, Susie Rebel, Kathy Woodard, Linda C. Payne, Jaleisha Grace, Ngozi, I got it right this time. Ngozi Daberi or Dabe. I'm going to get it right. In fact, write out your name so I can get it right because I'm determined to get that name right. Logan Style, Cynthia Brewer, Vet McCrae, Foreign Grace, Flo, Renee Salahinden, Kelly Neal, Tawana Gilder, Patricia C., Early Crush, Gwendolyn Members Throb, The Thread Whisper, Awanda Brown, Rhonda Morrow's Blessings. Now that is 45 people. If you're watching right now and you're one of those 45 people, raise your right hand, give yourself a pat on the back. Okay? You're the one asking the questions. You're the one getting the answers. You're the one say, Evelyn, we need you. We love you. Thank you so much. And keep it going. Okay? Because nothing in life is free. Remember that. Nothing in life is free. So when you spend your hard-earned money and you pay $2.99 and more, some pay as much as $34.95 a month to get the secret sauce. And they have total access to find out what's going on. So I want you all to know how much I appreciate you because without you, guess what? Screen will be black right now. Okay, so I want you to know how much I appreciate you. And also, those who have subscribed, who are not yet a member, I know you're coming. I know you're coming. I know somebody going to spend $2.99 with you this month, okay? Those who are members and those who are subscribers, I'm telling you, I thank you also because you're subscribing and you're saying, I want to know how to be wealthy and abundantly blessed. Today's title is Why We Trade. Okay, so I got to give you some stories behind that, but I got to just do this first. Now, you know I have a story, right? Tonight, I'm lifting up the crocheters. If you crochet, I wore this hat for you. If you've been watching me this week, I've been telling you about people, when you have a business, everybody, for some reason, when you have a business, people come and try to sell you stuff instead of you trying to sell them stuff. All right. So this woman came in, she didn't speak any English, and she had a bag of these hats. And I want my crochet people to look at this hat right here. This hat reminds me of when I was working in Alaska. This is a good hat for Alaska. It's a crochet hat and it looks like a really fun hairdo. Okay, and it has elastic in it and it pulls out and it can go down or you can stick all your hair in it and you see how you can shape it different ways. If you got more hair, it can go up. Well, what I want you to know is that right now she was selling these hats for $20. This hat could easily sell for $45. I would have bought it for $45. Before she left, she didn't even put a tag in it. I can't even find her. I don't know her name. She didn't speak English. She just came in trying to make a quick hustle, to make some money to buy something to eat. And she told me she did all these hats. She had them in all colors. If you heard me earlier, I was telling you about trends, how people like the same thing, like blacks, blues, browns, purples, pinks. They like the same color. Excuse me. So what I'm telling you is that right now is a good time to sell your fall items. Tonight is not a nudge. Tonight is a push. Okay. Tonight is a push. This is for tomorrow is First Friday. Okay. Everybody got to make some money tomorrow. I want everybody listening to me today. You have to make a sale tomorrow. Okay. Just depend like you really need to make a sale tomorrow. Pretend it. Put it in your mind when you go to bed tonight. I'm going to make a sale tomorrow, even if it's something that's not made. Okay. You have got to start putting your efforts to work and getting rewarded for it. Otherwise, all that fabric, all that equipment, all those paintbrushes, all those crochet needles, all those boards, all this art you painted. Who you painted for? Your house is overfilled. You know, let's get this started. Let's get it going. I don't want any more days where we're not. Listen, I don't want any more days when you're coming to listen to me and you hadn't made no money. Money is your reward. If you saw my post this morning, if you just plant a seed, the seed gonna grow. You're gonna get some lemons, some grapefruit, some pineapples, some oranges, some collard greens. If you just plant the seed, and even if you don't water it, the rain will water it. You know, you give it a start of water. So what I want you to know is that this lady was selling these hats. She's not even online. She's just walking around and needed something to eat. And she made this beautiful hat. Okay, this can be made all kind of ways. You can buy a lot of stuff that's already crocheted and make this hat, and you can make this hat without a without this, just like a Scully hat. The guys just like the Muslims, just like the Scully hat. Okay, so what I'm here tonight is for, I'm going to talk about trade. And if you're an older person on this line, I know you know about trade. And when I say older, that means somebody that's mature, over 70, maybe 65 or 70. Okay, I got to give you some experience, some background on trade. Mostly all people that are wealthy today, all the people, if you go around your neighborhood and you see the Walmarts, you see the car dealerships, you see the stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, all those people, their parents were farmers, and the farmers had a word called trade. Okay. And trade means that I give you something and you give me something. That's just what trade is. So now today we don't say trade, we say sell and buy. I buy and I sell. I buy and I sell. Well, that's a trade. That's a trade. That's a trade. Now, when you trade your money for something, it has to be more valuable than what you traded for. So, like, you're excited to get a sale. You're so excited to get a sale because you said, I bought this for $100 and it was worth $200, or it's worth $125 and I got $100 for it. Well, the person that sold it to you is happy to get the trade of the $100, and you happy to get the trade of the item. Okay. So this is the key. Whatever you're building, don't just get cheap, get quality. And if you get quality at a low price, that's good. Okay, that's even better. But make sure you make the trade. So what I'm saying, I'm feeling this. Now, I don't know this, but I'm good with the energy. I'm feeling you making stuff, but you're not offering the trade. So you're missing the secret sauce to bring it together. You know what I mean? Your hands can't clap unless you do like this. You can't make this, and you don't ask this one to come meet you in the middle. You got to clap your hand. You got to have a trade. You got to have a buy, a trade, a buy, a sale. Okay. So we got to get this week 6, we got to get into it, and we got to trade because the bills are due. Let me tell you what's going on right now. If you don't know, and you're in America, the blue collar workers are making money. The white collar workers are getting ready to prepare for bankruptcy. No, don't do that to me. All of y'all are blue collar workers. If you following me and you got a skill set You ain't worried about losing your house. Look, they finna shut down the airport. These people have been working for 37 days, but guess what? Tomorrow you can make some money because you got a skill set. Now, if I scared you, I'm sorry. But sometimes we got to shake you up, okay? People that are blue collar workers are making more money than federal government employees. People who have went with 30 and 40 days without paying a paycheck about to get eviction notices. They're about to get, now I'm not saying this to scare you by all means. If you're one of those people, I'm not scaring this to scare you. I'm saying this is because you already have a gift to that solution to that problem. Okay. I don't want any of my videos to incite fear. I want my videos to incite a spark of hope, because grass has the hope to come out the ground. Okay. I don't want any of my videos to be negative. I'm a positive person and I'm going to give you exactly what it takes to get you to the next level. But people are afraid, and you're not afraid because you're listening to me. Okay. You're not afraid. If you're on this channel right now, you can make a minimum of $100 an hour without a degree, without a certificate. All you need is you don't even need electricity. All you need is a hope and a desire that I want to get out of this situation. And then you want to do more, like invest in property, invest in some safe stocks, and buy without debt, meaning save and buy your car, save and pay for your farm, save and make stuff, make stuff and get your little pile up and buy your fabric. What you buy, look at how you can get 10x from that. If you buy a big spool of thread, it'll last you probably a few months. If you buy a small spool of thread, it's going to last you a couple garments. So when you make more money, you're going to buy more items and you're going to be able to do better because you're going to know better. Okay. This is the time of the year when people are rethinking their careers. Even if it wasn't a shutdown, you're thinking, where do I want to be in 2026? Look, tomorrow is your Black Friday. If you listen to me right now and you're one of my members, if you're in Evelyn's boot camp, sell something, even if it's not made. Okay. I want you to say, hey, Susan, I got this new scarf I got going on. It's only $24.95. Would you like to get one? Yes. What's your cash app? Here you go. I want to be the first one. If you don't ask, you're not going to get it. Okay. If you don't ask, you're not going to get it. If you don't put it out there, you're not going to get it. If you have an item online already, tomorrow, tonight before midnight, go into your feed and put Black Friday sale. Do not wait on the calendar to tell you when Black Friday is. In fact, I want you to have a Black Friday sale every Friday until after Christmas. Okay? And then in January, the first Friday, a post Black Friday sale. That's how you're going to make your money. We need to be working on making $1,000 a week. We can't get there if we don't make $100 a day. Okay, if we don't get there $100 a day, and then you're gonna have people right now are shopping right now. They're not waiting for Christmas. They're not wait. Look, after Halloween, you just straight to Christmas. You're not people putting their trees up, people putting their lights up, people buying their gifts, people putting their mail. Look, the mailman, the blessing that the blue collar workers, what I call myself, and you all watching me because you're in the boot camp mode. You in the I'm gonna get what I need. If I need to pay for this, I'm going to work toward that goal. Well, people are looking at where they are in their lives and they're saying, I got to secure my income. So I need to be doing something else. And the best thing about this is there's enough to go around. I got to tell you another story. I'm the greatest storyteller that's out there. A young lady came to me yesterday. I was walking from the food court and she saw me and she said, hey, Evelyn. And I said, hey, how you doing? She said, I'm mad at you. I said, what did I do to you? She said, you came up on my phone, girl, and you telling all these people that you don't know all of the trade secrets. And I said, yes, they deserve to know. I was happy. She was actually upset. She said, why are you telling all this? Why are you telling everybody everything? Look. You can tell people if they eat this, they're going to gain weight. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to do what they want to do. But there are some people that deserve to be millionaires, and I'm seeking to find them. Now, if I hurt your feelings, in fact, I told her, come on in the store, see something you like. You want to patronize me? Oh, I just want to see how you do this. So guess what? She didn't mean me no good, but I love her. I just love her because you know what? Because she saw that the business is growing, because she saw when she came in the store, I was able to show her how I made things. And I hope she's watching right now because she may be, or she may see it later. But what I'm saying is that we cannot be selfish. Someone took the time and taught me how to sew, and it was a white woman when I was a little teenager. And she said, I only get one in a lifetime, and it's you. You are the one in a lifetime. She got to see, she's still living actually. She got to see me grow from a little girl in high school at the basketball practice. I go in there and sew with all these old white ladies. And we had a pattern, but she said, look at it and see it without the pattern. Just see, can you do it without the pattern? And I had to do it because my mom was working 3 jobs and she had 2 children and she didn't have no money. So I couldn't figure it out. I had to learn. When I say I couldn't figure it out, I couldn't figure it out till she told me how to see out my eyes and see the person, how to build it. And that's how I learned how to sew without patterns. So what I'm saying is I don't want to die and leave this world without leaving an imprint and letting people know that they can do it. Because that older white woman told me I could do it. I was the only Black person in the class. I was a kid, and it was 20 white women in there. And them 20 white women, they poured all their love in me, and they said, you could do it. And I said, well, I want to do a fashion show. And I got my friends, and we came to the class that night, and she let me do a fashion show for the older ladies in the sewing class. So what I'm saying is I've been born with people giving to me. And I feel that I wouldn't do any justice if I didn't give it to you. But what I'm saying is, back then, giving was great. We didn't know we were poor. So we just gave. Everybody just gave. But today, everything has a bill. It has a tax. It has a fee. So you have to pay for what you get, but you don't always get it from the way you paid from it. Meaning that these people here that's on this list, these subscribers on this list, you're pouring into me, but you might not get it directly from me, but you're going to get it from your other sources that you're doing. So when you do something for somebody, it may not come back the same way it came, but you're going to get it other ways. You're going to get, maybe you had a bill and they just threw it out. Maybe you had someone disputing the charge and they ruled in your favor. Okay. So there's other ways you're going to benefit. But I must tell you, you're not going to get but so far until you learn how to give. If you don't know how to give unconditionally, well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm giving unconditionally. And you say, well, you asking for memberships. Yes, I am asking for memberships because I know the law of economics. If you want to go and buy something, I have to give enough people or buy enough to get that price. So right now, the members that are on this channel right now, they're getting, goodness, 35, 40% off on a yard of fabric that you can't find. You can take a half a yard or a yard of fabric and turn it to $45 or $50, depending on what you're making. I call that a pretty good deal because you can stock up. But we have to buy containers. We have to build our own resource. So I have another story, and I'm going to stop the story and then get back to business. When other countries come into your neighborhood and they do well right away, the reason they do well, it's an old thing called the susu. And if you're from the islands, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? A susu is when people of the same race or the same culture, they pour money into a pot every week, $10, $5, $100, whatever that person agrees to pay weekly, they do that weekly. And then at the end of the year or the end of the 6 months or the end of the term, your turn comes around and you get your whole pot back. Every week you help another person build their business. Okay? You help that person buy their kids school clothes or pay their kids college tuition. And that's called trust. So you have to trust me that I'm going to deliver to you so you can get a reward. And my reward is teaching you how to do what you already know how to do with your own hands, but pushing you to do it. so you can put some food and water and stuff in the cupboards, okay? So when you see those companies come to your neighborhood, you say, why they got all that? Why can't we do that? We can't do that because we're not having anyone coach us how to work together. We're not having anyone coaching and how to put stuff in together. We're trying to hide our skill set and cover it up and hoping we're going to be the only one knowing we're going to grow. You can't grow by yourself. You have to have help. You have to have, you got 5 fingers, it take all 5 to lift something up. You got 2 hands, 5 fingers on each hand, it take both of them to lift you up, to pull you up. Okay. So what I'm teaching you also, besides learning your skill set, is I'm teaching you how to give. Now, when I started teaching and learning this stuff over 18 years ago, the classes I joined, they would be $300 a month or $50 a month. And I had to get it. I like, oh, I cannot be broke. I got to do this. I got to learn how to do this. And I learned from a lot of people. Okay. Well, my class is $299 because you know why it's $299 to begin with? Because I want the weakest link to be a millionaire. When I say weak, not you physically, meaning just your bank account is weak. Bank accounts can change. There's nobody weak. It's a mindset. Okay. So I'm having the fee to be minimum. So you'll join and ask other people to join. And then be glad you're part of a tribe. Be glad, hey, I'm in Evelyn's boot camp tribe. Okay. You can come find me. You can put a pin on me. You can come visit the store. You can, I'm not invisible. I'm a live person. I'm not AI. I'm not a person that can't be found. You can trace me. You can look at my history. Are all my reviews great? No, because sometimes you just can't have everybody as your customer. But you know what? A whole lot of them are. And they say she gives good service. She answers her calls. She's on place, so forth. So not only am I teaching you how to build your wealth, I'm also teaching you how to be a great person to do business with. Okay. And if you're not a great person to do business with, then like I said, get somebody to sell it. Okay. So now that I got you pumped up and fired to go, the reason that these are the people that are really reaching out to me: sewers, crocheters, embroidery, quilting, painters, artists, alterationists, YouTube hosts, and authors. So after all the people that's listening, I think we at averaging 50,000 viewers now per week. We were up to 100,000. We dropped down to 50,000 because what we did at first, when we first started, when I was telling you about the house that I bought with my Walmart sewing machine, those people grabbed it and they left. Okay, but guess what? You got to come back to the coach. You know how I played basketball in college, and somebody can tell you can make a whole lot of money. You can make a whole lot of money. Bam. I was a hurdle rep. I ran the hurdles. Okay, kick the leg up, kick the leg off. Played basketball, played volleyball. I played every sport. But guess what? If you don't have a coach, all you have is the idea. If you don't have a coach invested in you, you can take the information. But if you don't have somebody to really tell you how to do it, I'm gonna have testimonies next week because these people that have really bought lessons, they said, "Girl, I didn't know I could do that. Oh, this is the kind of bank account I need. Oh, this is the kind of terminal I need. Oh, this is a website I need to be on." So when you take something and just take it because it's free, you stuck because you didn't put no skin in the game. You got to put some skin in the game. So they'll be back. Guess what? If they don't be back, somebody else going to be back that's really serious. So I don't mind losing viewers because the people that you're supposed to have, they really would be there. And the people that we have now, I feel we are a great group. I feel it's a great group of people that are really ready to go to the next level. I see you reading. I see and hear you reading your books. You're getting your knowledge. Take it. When I give you so many books, that don't mean you got to finish a whole book. Use those books like if you were in school. In school, you had 5 classes, right? You had to read something in every book every night. Don't feel like you got to read the whole book to get it. Use it as a classroom setting. I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn this today from this one, learn this one from that tomorrow. And when you finish, you got it all together. Okay. We said start your Black Friday sale. Okay, this is what I really want you to know too. Right now, this is interesting. I'm telling you to buy, to make ornaments and do the Christmas stuff and do the stuff that's that's cute, but winter like, guess what's selling, guys and girls? Summer stuff is still selling. Listen, right now we're at the end of the third quarter, and your professional shoppers, if you sell something that's summery or light color, and you have it online, they're buying. Right now on my online stores, my winter sales are here and my summer sales are here. They're almost at the same level. And I'm like, why is this summer hat still selling? But guess what? I got the stock and I can still make the summer hats. I can still make the summer scarves. I can still make the summer dresses. So, what I want you to know is when you build your inventory, don't think that, oh, it's summer right now. I don't want to wear my winter stuff. It's just the opposite. Like the Christmas tree's been growing all year, right? Now you buy your Christmas tree. But also the stuff before Christmas and after Christmas, they're still selling. So don't give up on your lightweight items when you go into a season where everybody is just playing Christmas music. You want to make sure that you have people that are looking at your site and seeing everything you have. And when you have those summer items, you don't have to really mark them on sale. They want them. They're in demand. There's nothing wrong with them. Spruce them up. Make sure you can give them a good look. When you're making those sales right now, everybody gonna make a sale this week because tomorrow's Black Friday. When you make those sales this week, go and get, if you can't buy it, then make it yourself. Make some great Christmas thank you notes. Like if you have to take a piece of paper and you have to fold that piece of paper like this. Okay. Put your name on it. Thank you for your support and text me for your next order. I want you to do that. If you don't have time to get it, then do that. All right. If you got more than 5 people on your phone, you can make a sale tomorrow. All right. Make a sale tomorrow. Feel good that you took this class. Feel good that you took the 7th boot camp class so you can make some sales. And when you make some sales, you're going to be very happy with yourself. You won't feel like I just did this and I'm not getting anything out of it. No, you got to push yourself to strength. Push yourself to be financially free. Now, the reason I said that these 45 people that have joined and are members and are spending $2.99 or more, because if you bought a couple of houses, you're at $1 million in wealth. It doesn't take that much to be a millionaire. Once you get yourself lined up, you buy a couple of houses, your wealth, when I say $1 million, that doesn't mean it always have to be in cash. It can be in assets. And those 45 people, and I know more are going to come on because I know there's more than 45 people want to be over a millionaire. In fact, those 45 people may already be a millionaire. They just may not have looked at it, or they know it and they want more millions. So there's no shortage of money. I want you to know that there's no shortage of money, but there is a shortage of quality and there's a shortage of caring people. So when people invest in you, make sure you're honest and make sure you're polite and make sure you show some caring. Okay? Because people that bring stuff to the universe, they care. They made it with their hands. And we wear our feelings on our sleeve. If somebody don't like something, we be like, why? What's going on? What did I do wrong? Or why don't you like this? But you can learn from your critics. Everything you do is not going to be right, and your critics are not always wrong. So learn from your critics. Find out how you can be better at what you have. Find out how you can make it better. Work on your speed before you start working on your master crafts. What you're going to make today, just practice sewing a straight line and making a scarf or making a hat or make a bandana. So the speed is what's going to get you through. Now, the other day, another story. I told you I wasn't going to tell you, but a little bit. This lady came in the store and she said, I want 2 shawls. I'm going to a really good party and I want 2 shawls. And I had just cut. When you saw me last week, or the week before, you saw me had a whole rack of shawls that was prepped on the rack. Well, guess what? She wanted 2 shawls. I said, they're going to be $45 a piece. She said, okay, when can I get them? 2 or 3 days? I said, no, you're going to get them in 20 minutes. She said, I don't have to come back. I said, yes. She got the shawls. She saw me doing the shawls. And then she said, well, I'm going to go look for some jewelry. So she knew I had plenty of jewelry. You guys seen the story. You seen there's plenty of jewelry. So right then and there, she spent $140 in 20 minutes. Okay. Now that could be in a store. It could be in your bag. It could be online. It could be anywhere. If you got something priced under $50, people usually have a budget of spending $100. Okay. And then they'll go over. So if you're pricing your items at $50 or less, that's the sweet spot of it's only $50. If it's something $20, it's almost instant. It's like, ooh, $20 here, get that $20. Like this. Get that 20. You only want $20 for that hat? Here, girl, give me here, let me go get my purse. Let me give you $20. She was so happy with the $20 that she didn't even leave it where I could buy more $20 hats or have them bigger for bigger heads. But it's elastic, so you can always change that. So what I'm saying is, if you have your items ready, you have your stock ready, and those shawls was not even ready. They was prepped on the hanger looking like, I want to know where home I'm going to. She went through the whole rack. She picked out 2. Boom. She got it. Went and got a scarf. Now, what I did and what I can do, and you can do also, I put the shawls on 2 nice hangers that was the same. And I put a clear garment bag over each one because people like to look like they bought a lot of stuff. Okay, it's an illusion. If I look like I bought a big purchase and I spent $100, when I walk out the store and I'm in the mall, oh my goodness, I got this. Now she bought some earrings. So what I did with the earrings, I put the earrings in a nice box with a little bow on the top of it. And then she was like, oh, I got my earrings. So my earrings, I do buy 2, get 1 free. Okay. And the reason I do buy 2, get 1 free is because I buy them in volume and I want to shrink my inventory, and I've made my profit with 2. So I bless the client with the extra pair of earrings and they feel good. So they can share that earring or give that earring as a gift, or she got 2 pair to fit her outfits or Charles. And then she got another pair that she can give her mom or her daughter. Okay. So when you make those kind of incentives, it's good business. Learn how to do good business. Do not give your work away. Make sure you make a profit, but be on the side of the giving. Okay? Because when you go in a store today, there's no customer service. They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to know what you're feeling like. They don't want to know they're not really getting commission. So if they don't get commission, they're not going to be forced or pushed to give you good service. You got to know what you want. You got to know your size, and you got to go pay it and check out yourself. Okay. When you can reverse that customer service to say, hey, I got a good product at a good price, and she was nice. So when they come back and you're busy, they'll understand she's busy because she's so nice. I'm traveling today and people are texting me saying, hey, I saw you last week. I told you I want a dress and you're not here today. They make an appointment. You didn't tell me what you wanted. Right now, if people are asking you to make something for them before the end of the year, I want you to ask for deposits. The deposit is just to hold your time. It's not on the outfit. It's to hold your time. If they come, then the deposit go toward the garment. Right now, you have an opportunity to make endless amounts of money, and you cannot be tied up with somebody coming at the last minute, want a dress, and you're only gonna make $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 on that one dress. $500 a lot, but it can also keep you from making a lot because you tied up. You got to do fittings, you got to do this, you got to do that. You can't make other money. For you to make money this season, I want you to make money that doesn't take a lot to do. I want you to make money that's simple money, quality but simple. Like if you make a scarf and put some fleece in it, That can go for a man or woman. Nice design, but some fleece because it's cold. Okay? When you selling something, it has to be what? It has to be a want, a need, or a desire. A want is, I just really want me a nice scarf. A need is, this is cold out here. It's cold out here. I need a scarf. A desire is, man, I wish I could look like that. I worked hard, so I'm gonna get that. Want, need, and desire. Want, need, and desire. That's what people want. When they work hard, they want to reward themselves with something. Okay? If they're really cold and they need a scarf and you got it and it's their price range, you got it. Okay, you got it. Because right now, when you're buying your things and you buy it next week, like they're telling you, people will start putting their prices on items. The reason they stop putting it, like, okay, let me tell you something. Okay, like this right here. Pull this out. It used to be everything had the price on it, right? Everything had the price on it. Now, when you look at it now, everything got a barcode. So they stopped putting the prices on it and they got a barcode. So when they have a barcode, you can just go in the back and you can change the price. But if they got a price on it, they can't change the price, or you can dispute the price because the barcode says this is the price it's supposed to be. Well, now because of tariffs, the prices are going so fast that every truckload is a different price. Tonight, I just left a little party, family party. I'm in the woods. I'm in Alabama, y'all. I'm in Alabama. We got bonfire. They still cook the food in the ground. I love this because they still cook food in the ground, like in the slave days. My husband's family is real. They're very interesting. I love them, but you learn a lot of stuff. But the truck drivers was there tonight, and they're talking about how they only getting $1.50 a mile, $1.25 a mile to travel, to bring us all our good stuff. Okay. So when those trucks get those containers off the docks, they done changed the cost of what it takes to get that inventory in. So that price is passed on to us, the consumers. So they don't have enough staff to go around and change the price. Okay. So when they don't have to change the price, they just do a barcode. So now everybody's running around like, what's the price? What's the price? It's a little sticker on top of it on the shelf that tells you the price. But when you buy it, it just have this. So when you're checking out, you're trying to remember the price. And if you got 100 items in your cart, you buying butter, cheese, all this other stuff, there's no way you can keep up with the price. So people are getting upset about that. So make sure when you're pricing your items, you have a fixed price. Let people know your price. And if your price go up, let your consumer that's buying from you know, look, we had a slight increase. It went up to $5. I'm making some scarves. I'm on a contract for making the Central Florida Black nurses scarves. I make all the new Black nurses that come into to the city of Orlando, Florida. When they come over, they get a scarf, right? Well, I had to raise my price by $5. Now she took 3 weeks to make the deal, make the order, right? When she ordered 3 weeks ago, I could have kept the same price to make the scarf for $45. But because she delayed 3 weeks, the material went up. So I had to charge $50 to make the same nice scarf. So when you're delaying, your prices might change or go. Listen, your prices never go down on your material unless it's clearance. The prices remain the same or they go up. So when you're building your garments and you're building your items, whether it's painting, the paint brushes are getting outrageous. The good paint brushes, they're going up. The paint is going up. So when you do that and factor all that into your price, because you may make $100, but did you really make $100? Make sure that you're making every penny that you can off of your wares, because the next time you go to produce or to make that item, you won't be able to get it at that price. So now I'm going to take some questions because I've been rambling and going on, and I'm so excited to see you all. And I'm actually glad to be away from work. I'm still working, but I'm working with you all, but I'm glad to be away from work. I need to know, do you really understand about the buy, sell, and trade? That's my first question. I'm going to come back to that. We all are trading. We call it selling and buying, but it's actually a form of trade. You need to know what trade is, because when you know what trade is, you understand that the value has to be significant on both sides. When you trade, nobody feel like they lose. And if you watch the NBA and the NFL, they always still use the old term trade. Well, he was traded for this and he was traded for that. So if he was traded for 10 million, then the 10 million got to be better than the trade. You know what I mean? So that's what trade is. Once you really understand the nuts and bolts of why we sell and why we buy, then you'll feel good about when you produce something. Because when you make something that nobody else can make, I'm zeroing in on you like that. When I do like that, that means I'm real serious. Okay. I'm doing this because it's really hot in here. I had to show y'all this crochet hat tonight, but it's hot in this room because I'm like, oh, it's cold outside, but it's warm in the house. But when you learn that part about trade, and you make something, and you look at it, like this. This is my sister-in-law house. I'm gonna show y'all this. She got this little man, this little monkey right here. This little monkey. When you say see no hear evil, hear no. Well, somebody she traded money for this. Everything you have, you traded money for this. And I wonder what she paid for that. But that's the kind of stuff you need to know. If you bring something so unique and somebody gotta have it, they're gonna pay you whatever you charge because they're gonna be like, ooh, wait, I know this. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna somebody said they understand. I'm gonna answer some questions if you're here. Okay, it says good. Good evening. Every time I come on, I'm late. I'm always late. Let me tell you about being late, Constance. Miss Thane, did you plant something today? You told me you was gonna plant something today. Okay. When the reason that I call your name, because I know somebody's sewing and they can't when you sewing or you painting or you crocheting or you are embroidering or you making a quilt. Look, you got to get it in when you can get it in. So the reason I want to make sure I'm calling your name and that you have these videos, when these videos come up, they individualize. Like nobody's watching at the same time unless you're on at the same time when I'm live. But you can come in and you can go back and scroll and say, what did she say? What did she mean? Or what was that book? And I'm calling your name because I want you to know that you're here. And Constance is one of these members that, hey, Gwendolyn, Brenda, Pizzazz, okay, Miss T from the Gump, from Mississippi, all these great people from all over the world is pouring into this. And did y'all hear about the lady that's from Hawaii with the 35 cent? For those who didn't see me this week, the reason I started walking 9 miles, I was walking 6 miles, I'm making sure I'm clearing my lungs, is because there's a viewer out there. She's buying, she's buying the quilting project. That if you receive the quilt, all y'all should be getting your stuff in the mail now. The box of goodies and treasures to make your first quilt. We want to make everybody who want to make a quilt, we want to have our quilt by December. Okay. That's my Christmas gift. Y'all gonna give me. Miss Evelyn, I got my quilt started. Okay. I just want you to start. It's not urgent right now because you got to make money, but sometimes somewhere find a couple minutes when you're testing your sewing machine out, work on that quilt. But the moral of the story is she has 35 cents in her bank account. She wanted some quilting fabric. And thank you if you're watching right now. You've inspired me because some people don't tell their business. Okay. And then some people tell all their business. Well, she told me some of her business and said, look, I only have 35 cents. Now, 35 cents ain't going to stop me from sending you something. If you tell me I want it, but I don't have the money, look, I just need the minimum to get started. I'm going to give it to you because you're going to make some money and you're going to be able to pay it back and buy more tenfold. That's just the kind of person I am. But what I was happy about, if you go and look at that video and I stood against that tree, look, 35 cents, she wasn't overdrawn. She said, I have something to sell. So she was happy because she was going to go to the market and sell some things that she had. It's like the woman that needed the oil, that had the oil. And they said, what? Do you need to go and sell something? And she had the oil and she went and sold, had her sons give all the bottles, the vessels, and sold and was able to replenish. So what I'm saying to you all today is no matter where you are in your financial journey, or if you're looking up the road and you see the instability of the countries, not just United States, of all the countries, then you have to create a safety net. And right now, the blue collar workers are doing better than the government workers. And the blue collar and the government workers that have a skill set are able to save themselves right now. Okay. So whatever you're doing or whatever you're going through, you're gonna be okay. You're really gonna be okay because you're getting your lesson in. Like when you plant a farm, the seed don't grow right away. So by you putting your time and effort in every Thursday night, and you're saying, I gotta get this right now, you're already there. Your millions are right there. Look, your millions are right there. Don't nobody on this channel, I'm asking you, don't think you can't be a millionaire. You just gotta want it bad enough. You gotta give up a little sleep. You got to exercise, you got to walk, you got to clear your brain, and you got to put some skin in it. Now, a millionaire not going to drop right there on you. The people that are millionaires are the people that do what the people won't do. Like I'm gonna celebrate my birthday every year. I'm gonna take a week off. Millionaires can't do that right now because they're watching the stock market, they're watching their employees, they're watching their growth. Millionaires might take a couple of hours off for their birthday, but they're not taking their whole week off. They're not taking the whole day off. My birthday is July the 4th. I'm a birthday girl, July the 4th at 7:11 in the morning. I work for Walt Disney World and retired from Walt Disney World, a great company, I must say. I had to work every birthday. I had to work every single birthday because it was the busiest day of the park, and they had me to work, and I was in management. And when I wasn't in management, I didn't have enough skill set to know that I had to be off. I had to be able to learn something while, everybody else that knew it could take off. So I'm born on July the 4th, had to work every birthday. Then when I went on the road and I was selling on the road, my busiest day, I used to work for National Education Association. My busiest day was July the 4th. Every July the 4th, I was guaranteed to make $3,000 to $5,000 every single July the 4th. That was just one day. It was a week conference. But that one day I made my most sales. So when you have a birthday and it's a holiday, or you have a birthday and it's a work day, don't always feel like I gotta take this day off because it's my birthday. You're gonna have a lot more birthdays that you can take off. But that's the mindset of a millionaire, a multimillionaire. Okay. There's some things we have to unlearn to get there, meaning we gotta do the hard stuff, like take ourselves out. That doesn't mean neglect yourself. That doesn't mean don't reward yourself. That just means to be focused and say, I gotta do this. And you can take some time off before that day, in the middle of that day, the evening of that day. Or if you have to just say, I just need a mental break for that day. But don't be consistent that every time it's a holiday that you don't work towards your goal. Because once you get your goal, you can take those days off. Now I can take my birthday off, but for years, I couldn't take my birthday off. I mean, I got a cake, I went to dinner at night, but I had to work. Because when you work, are you working for somebody? You're not working 24 hours. So you still can celebrate your birthday. Okay. Now, okay, everybody. Hello, hello. Pink, I see you. Tracy Davis, I see you. Miss Pearl. Oh, I love me. Okay, Lear Rockin. Learn Rockin Graham. I like that name. All right. I'm making sales tomorrow. I have to send one of my Duster denim jackets is off. So do that count? Yes, that counts. You made a sale. Now you got to make more of those same jackets, okay? Because what happens when you make a sale? Look, she bought this one monkey, and she bought another monkey. She bought two monkeys. When you make a sale, sales comes like the ocean. So when you make a sale to something, you got to be ready. You can't have just one thing and say, okay, I made my sale. No, you need to keep making it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, somebody got this Sam Walton book. When you learn about Sam Walton said the most important person in his business is what or who? If you read the Sam Walton book, the most important person to Sam Walton, if you don't know who Sam Walton is or Walmart, I know the people in other countries are telling me the name of the Walmart. It's not called Walmart. It's different names in different countries. But Sam Walton says the most important person in his business or for his business is the truck driver. Now, why do you think that? I know y'all know the answer. Well, the truck driver brings the merchandise. And if you don't have no merchandise, you can't make no sales. So you plan employees to stand there. So that's why I'm saying inventory, inventory, inventory. Inventory, inventory, inventory. Now, if you're making something for someone or you have an order, like if you have a Greek order, I do a lot of stuff for the Phi Beta Sigma, the Black fraternity. I'm like their go-to person in Orlando. All right. When I make stuff for them, I also be making stuff for other people, like I'm doing scarves. Because when I do stuff for them, I'm doing it on an embroidery machine. But embroidery machines, you make sure it's right, set it, looking at it, you can go over here and sew something else. So I'm constantly I'm inventory bound, meaning you're never gonna come to my store and I'm out. All right. I can't be out. I gotta be having that stock. So if you got inventory, 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 you can make it. So Sam Walton says he keeps his drivers, they get like $3,000 to $5,000 bonuses a year if they don't have a truck accident. That was way back in the day. All of his employees retired with $1 million salary. I know you think it's just Walmart. If you work for Walmart 20 years, you get a big salary at the end. And then if you got enough inventory, you can make so much money. So that's his thing. That's my Sam Walton thing. Okay. Right. Everyone hit the thumbs up for Evelyn. I like that. Everyone hit thumbs up for me. I like that. I like everybody. I like to be appreciated. I like to be appreciated. I appreciate this, Miss Evelyn. Evelyn, I have been teaching for two students from my formerly birthday. They bought me a Singer heavy duty sewing machine. Look at that. She bought a heavy duty sewing machine. Now, people have been on me about these sewing machines, and they asked me, somebody said, why would you tell people to buy that piece of garbage? Why would you tell somebody to buy that piece of garbage? Let me tell you about that piece of garbage. Everything that I own, I'm talking about. I don't even know anything. I use the Walmart sewing machine to buy the big humdrum machine. And when you look at it, and like Miss Brenda said, who's ever did your story, when you look at what I have did in my life, even the laptop that I'm talking with you from, the Walmart sewing machine paid for it. These glasses that I have on, look, you have insurance and it don't really cover much. My eyes, after a while, I started, needing glasses because I sew a lot. These glasses I bought with money that I made from my Walmart sewing machine. I have implants. I had my jaw. I had a tooth that cracked, and I didn't get it taken care of right away. Had dental insurance, but guess what? It's just cracked. It don't hurt. Well, my bone in my jaw needed to be rebuilt because I didn't go. I wasn't even in pain. And I went to the dentist. He said, "Oh, we got to bill your jaw." That was $20,000 that I had to get a loan because I didn't want to just pay. I really didn't have $20,000 for the implants, but I'm paying for this with sewing on my Walmart sewing machine. I'm telling you to say that you can buy a really good sewing machine, but there are some things that you're going to be buying, that you're going to be sewing when you're in your career of sewing. You don't want to mess up a $2,000 sewing machine. If you got a Walmart heavy duty sewing machine, it can sew rugs, it can sew carpet, it can sew upholstery, it can sew leather. If you're a biker chick like me and you got to do patches on stuff and they rough and tough, you don't want to ruin your sewing machine. I don't care what kind of needle you got. And then if you got a fabric that's bleeding, Like the dyes is heavy and you putting that in. And when you get through with it, you got to wash your hands because the dye still hasn't cured in that fabric. You don't want to do that on your nice bridal sewing machine. That's why I say buy two. When you make the money, get you another heavy duty sewing machine and that do all your crafts. Like when I paint fabric, sometimes the fabric might not quite be dried. Them dried 2 days, but it might need another day. And if you do it on that sewing machine that you use as your workhorse, like somebody said, your workhorse, I like that. Then you can use that machine, and then your bridal machine or your soft or your whites or your yellows, you can do that on the second machine. And that's how you get to where you got two machines, not more than $500 for both of them, or maybe five, maybe six, not much. But those two machines can pay for everything. The blinds, you could buy the bed, you could buy the dresser, you can buy the computer, you can buy the ceiling fan up there, you can buy art. So it doesn't have to be a beast like other machines. I'm not saying that. So the person that ripped me apart and said, "Why would you tell them?" And I'm telling you why I'm telling you. The reason I'm telling you, because that's all I could afford at the time. And when I was working in Washington, D.C. one time in a darn cab, I done flew there and my sewing machine was in the back. And by the time I got all my wares out and I go to get my sewing machine, the cab driver left with my sewing machine. Now I had my stuff made and I had stuff prepped, but then to get paid, I need to finish some things. I need to alter some things. So I had them to take me from DC to Maryland and pick up me a sewing machine from Walmart. And by the end of the afternoon, I had to made some money, including paying for that sewing machine. So I'm telling you stuff that worked for me. I'm not telling you stuff that don't work for me and that will not work for you. I'm a straight up honest person. If I tell you you can make $1 million with a Walmart sewing machine, that you can own 10 properties, a farm, and everything else, you can do all of that because that's what I do. You can do all of that with a Walmart sewing machine. So you don't have to, you don't, and if you got a good sewing machine, then keep it. And your good sewing machine is doing well, still buy a backup machine. That don't mean it have to be a Walmart sewing machine. It just need to be a sewing machine that does well, that works every time you work. And I suggest you always have two sewing machines alike because if you need parts or something is not working, it's not lining up, then you can go to that machine. Always have a second backup, like a second car if you can afford it, you know? Just make sure when that money come to you and you're sewing in the middle of the night and you get shut down and you can't get out the house and your project is almost impossible to finish. If you got that backup machine, you're gonna need it. And then you can sell stuff. Look, when you're selling things, you can sell it in increments of your time. Like say you got something to do, like these scarves I'm making for the Black nurses. They need them in a month. Okay. You can pace yourself. I'm gonna work on this much today. I'm working on that much today, that much today. Because once that business start going and people realize that you are dependable and you give quality, be like this. Be dependable and quality. Don't be known as somebody cheap. Do not be known as I am a cheap sewer. Because sewing takes all your skill set that you ever mastered to deliver that product. Give a fair price, but don't let cheap be part of your vocabulary because you're not going out of business, you're going into millions. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. Do not let cheap be part of your vocabulary. I've been talking too long. Make sure people are not saying your stuff is cheap. Make sure people are saying your stuff is valuable. I cried one time. Somebody said, "Oh, I don't go to her because she's too much. She's not cheap." And at the time, I was dating this guy. And he said, "You don't ever want to be known as cheap. You want to be known as somebody that gives quality." And I said, "Man, he's not even in business." So that was the best thing about that relationship. I love that guy because he was like, "You're good. You should do that. You don't be cheap." So I'm telling you, don't be cheap. All right. Every relationship has something. Okay, I'm gonna get some more comments. I do have a website. What do you advise on me to get quick sales? Okay, it depends on your website and it depends on the search engines. Okay, the first thing you do if you have a website and you want to make quick sales is to have a sale. Okay, so make sure your merchandise is not too cheap. I'm gonna just say that because of that. Make sure your merchandise, I'm gonna get rid of that word. Make sure your prices are not too low that you can't make a sale. Like, and the threshold for sales is anywhere between 15 and 25%. If you have a sale, it should be 15 to 25%. If you have something for $35 and it's 15% off, do the math before the sale and see can you afford to sell it for that price. And then if you have a sale for 25% off, 15 and 25% off usually sell quickly. But if you have a sale for 15 to 25% off, make sure you charge at least $6 for shipping. The trick today, or the sweet spot today, is $6 for shipping. Some people only buy if it's free shipping. Some people understand that it costs to ship. Now, if it's shipping and it's $6, people say, okay, it's only $6. But if you can absorb, say, $2 or $3 of the shipping and put the $4 or the $3 in the price, then you win. So the main thing is to make sure. Remember when I told you when you price something, it should be times 4. That means if something costs you $5, you should be able to sell it for $20. And then when it's on sale, you should still make money. So even if it's 50% off, you still make money on top of that because you got to put in fact your time, your labor, your effort, and your skill set. Most of the time when we pricing things, we don't put our skill set in there. We just put our time and our labor for the item. Okay. So if you have an online store, look at the search engines, see where your customers are, have a sale. So tomorrow, Pink, put that sale on, 15% off. If the price is too low, adjust your price so you can still make money for the 15% off. Now, some people say, why are you cheating? Are you making it? No, your prices go up because when you restock that item, the item that you have to buy, the price has gone up. You know, like when the gas, look at the gas station. When you buying gas and the gas goes up, they raise the price. Even the gas they already have was at a cheaper price. So they make money on top of the price that they paid for the lower gas. So you got to be just as smart as the big box consumers or producers. You're going to get your consumers to buy from you, but you got to be on top of your game with your pricing. You cannot work all day and all night. Sometimes you get in a sweet spot. You can't stop sewing. You can't work all night without getting that reward. So make sure your price is where you can make some money. Okay, I don't have a website. And what would you advise to get quick sales? I say if you don't have a website, first of all, if you make your items and you need to take one of my classes first, my offsite coaching, and reach out to me and we'll see where you are. But if you don't have a website and you do want to make some sales, you gotta just people you know. Okay, people you know. If you have any type of social media, if you have Instagram, if you have Facebook, you got to put out that I'm having a sale. So if you don't have a website, go to people that you know on those areas. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you do get with me and you get on the website, you won't have to do Instagram and Facebook. You're gonna make more money on a website that has 60 and 70 million people shopping than on your Facebook and Instagram. And the reason being is when you're on Facebook and Instagram only, that's in a small area. I don't care if you have 4,000 people following you on Instagram and Facebook. That is still a small area of people, and then your ads get buried. Okay, so we got to get you on a good website that you can grow on and make sales, and they'll critique you. and we get you out there. And once people see you, they're gonna favorite you. You're gonna be able to look at that website and see who all have your items in their cart and who all's ready to make a purchase. And when you have that purchase, and you make a sale. It's like fishing. When you throw that sale out there, it's like whoop, and you see how many fish you got. Okay. And then as soon as you get that fish or those sales, you make that note. Please text me if you have any issues, or please text me if you need anything else. Then they're gonna come in and then ask them to give you a review. Once your review goes out publicly, then you're gonna start getting more sales, more sales, more sales, more sales. And when I get you, if you get in that private coaching, when I get you on these sites, it's not gonna cost that much. You're gonna be up and running with under $100. That's with some coaching. I've been buying material and I just don't know why. And just didn't know why. Now I know God has a plan for me. Yes, he does. When younger, I wanted to start a business sewing baby clothes. Saw you and now it's on working on inventory. Yes. I'm making some baby clothes too right now. Some babies. I'm making some baby clothes for unborn babies, and I'm making some baby clothes for the babies that's already here for this one client. So baby clothes are good. Baby clothes are a good gift item, and grandma loves to buy clothes. If you know anybody who's a grandmother, they'll buy your stuff. Grandmothers buy baby clothes all day long. They want their grandbabies to clothes to fit, even if they're not in the same area. Okay, we're gonna get you a website, Pete. Okay, I was going to say, can't you add the shipping into your price? Absolutely. Can you add the shipping in your price? Absolutely, you can add the shipping in your price. Do not think you can't. If you want to say free shipping, like we said when we started the show, I started this boot camp class tonight. Nothing is free. Even when you take it to the post office, if you don't have a stamp machine you can't put stamps on your computer and print out the postage. When you put out that postage, you print the discount postage, but just to have that icon on your computer, it costs you like $30 a month. So nothing is free. So if you say free shipping, that's probably the handling part, but the actual freight, if you ship anything today with a stamp processor, it's a minimum of $6. It's like $4.50 just to ship an envelope that's local. So you can't eat the cost of shipping. Don't feel bad if you have to increase your price to include the shipping. And don't feel bad if you say $6. Now you can say $10, $20. If you're selling big art, like I sell art, told y'all I'm hot. If I sell art, the shipping for art is a minimum of $100 so that it doesn't break. So you have to charge for shipping. Do you help with the websites? I'm going to give you the websites that I use, and yes, I will help with websites, but that's also private coaching. Okay, and that's a discount with those who are already members. Okay, I need to make money to get your coaching. Okay, this is how you get money to make your coaching. This is how you get money to make the coaching. How do I get money to make the coaching? Okay, that means you look through your list. I go on your phone and you start selling to people that you know, or you start telling people that you know that if they know anybody that's interested in your items, that you're willing to sell them your items. There is a way to make money for coaching if you don't have a site. Okay. And if you can work some extra hours to make some extra inventory, then you have inventory to sell to do the coaching. Okay. I know that's like a real difficult sweet spot. I'm working, I'm sewing, I need some money, I need some coaching. Okay. Somewhere make the sacrifice, whether you got to work a few more hours or you got to sew a few more items. And what you do when you go home tonight, or when you get off with me tonight, when you go to bed, let me tell you the most powerful way to make money when you don't have money, that's proven to be a win. It's when you go to bed tonight, just thank God for giving it to you. Just lay down in that bed back there and say, thank you, God, for giving me the money for my coaching class. Thank you, God, for giving me the money for making a sale tomorrow. Thank you, God, for giving me the price to charge so I can make this sale tomorrow. And I promise you it'll happen. Don't ask God. Thank him for what he's already about to do. Okay? When you thank him, he will provide. Remember, he said he'll provide all your needs. All you got to do is ask. So when you start thanking him before you go to bed and then do your prayer, and when you wake up in the morning, when you become conscious in the morning, look, listen to me, everybody who's struggling with the basic money that it takes to coach you. Because if you're serious, I do plans, okay? But the reason you have to charge for coaching is because when you charge somebody for coaching, they're going to show up. If you do it free, they're going to clock in, clock out. But when you pay for something, you're going to say, oh, yeah, I paid for coaching. I'm going to that class tonight. I'm going to that class tomorrow. Thank him before you go to bed. Listen, everyone who's struggling right now financially and need to know how to make a way out of no way, thank him for what you need before you go to bed. When you come conscious in the morning, before you get out of bed, thank him. And then go to work. And you'll see it. You'll see it happen. Last story, I promise you. Right now, people are not getting their food stamps and benefits. So they are cutting back on things. So this week I had a lot of chargebacks. Chargebacks is when somebody say, "Oh, I don't need it today. I'm canceling my order." Well, I have a clause and no refunds, no exchanges. So I had these chargebacks. So I got to go and show that the person signed that they're gonna, all sales are final, no exchanges. I do give exchanges within 3 days, but I have to write it down. No exchanges. So then they sign for it, right? So I was kind of depressed because I'm like, man, then I kind of understood, but I have a policy, I have a business to run, right? So I'm coming in the back door of the store and I'm saying, oh man, I need to make that money back that they just took out my account. And within 5 minutes, literally, I prayed about it that night. I prayed about it that morning. I'm telling you what I do on a daily basis when I'm faced with challenges with my business, you know. And I said, "Oh man!" And I did it, and I got up, and when I'm walking in the back door, the store manager and the guy that cleans the store, he said, "Wow, you're right on time." I said, "What's going on?" He said, "You got customers waiting on you." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you got customers waiting on you." So I came out. I was looking at, is it a potential customer or somebody just want to be like, hey, I just want to let you know I know you. Guess what? I made $500 over what I was asking for. Just like that. Because I didn't forget to ask him. I didn't forget to thank him for what I needed before I went to bed and when I woke up. So in business can be like this, up and down all day. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you got. And if you're not on top of your bank account and knowing what's going on and not checking your bank account every day, you're gonna be in trouble. You got to know what's going on in your bank account. You got to know what you got to have. You got to know what you need. All right. So it's constant. Now, for those who are not believing in God or believe in something, I don't want to say everybody believes in God, and I don't want to discourage anybody who don't believe in God, but whoever you believe in, whatever religion, whatever culture that you believe in, do the same technique. It'll work for you. Just trust that it's going to happen and go to work. It's not going to work if you don't go to work. You got to believe it, and it'll come through every time. Now, it might not be that same day, but it's going to be when you need it. And when you need it is when you look, has you ever got money at a bad time? Has anybody ever gave you money and you said, oh, I don't need it today, child. I'm good. Hey, you better take it. All right. So if you believe, and thank you for believing in him, if you believe It's a call things that, yes, that is right. Liz, you are absolutely right. She said, call things that be not as though they were. That is. And that is right. So when you believe in it, it's going to happen. But you got to know what to ask for. Now I'm going to laugh with you. You know how you say, I want a man? Women say, I want a man. Well, you got to know what kind of man you want. I want a good, honest, hardworking man with license, a car, his own money. When you ask God for something or you ask your creator for something, know how to ask. Don't just say, I need some money. He might just give you a couple dollars. So ask him for what you need. Lord, I need you to relieve me of these financial bills. Here they are. Here are all the bills. Now help me work it out and go to work and learn how to manage, learn how to balance. If you get a few dollars, pay a little bit on your bills every week. Like if you got some bills and they really big, pay $50, $25 on them, scatter it out. And by the time the due date is, you can pay it so you don't get that late fee. So while you're working and you're making some money, work smart. If you make $100 and you only was looking at 50, then take that 50 to 25 here, 25 there, and start chopping that bill that's coming up. Because right now they call you before the bill is due 2 and 3 weeks early. They're like, wait a minute. As soon as the bill is paid, okay, your next bill's in 3.5 weeks. So start chopping those bills down so you can get them out your way and just start working with it. And I really look forward to working with you all because I know the Millionaire Club. The Millionaire Club is the ones who are members. First of all, if you're already a member, you already start having the mindset that it costs to be successful. And it's a small amount to pay to learn a lot because you in. Because whenever you join as a member on this channel, whatever day you join, they hit your account the same day every month. But you can always unjoin. The membership that's on this channel, it doesn't make you stay a member. But my goal is if you are a member that you're hungry enough to come back and learn more and bring more on board. And those who are coming on board will know that it's worth it because you're with it, especially if you're a person that's hard to please. And definitely those who are with me that's going to have their own channels, those who are with me that are going to have their own channels. I'm excited for you. Those who are with me that are taking the coaching classes that are already started building their wealth, I'm excited for you. I'm so excited for you. Those who are watching me and said, don't tell everything, Evelyn. Listen, I'm going to tell anybody who will listen. And I'm so glad that you made it come to my attention that I'm helping you. I'm helping others. And that's all I can ask for. I'm going to take one more. And see who we have tonight. Okay. Someone saying that video really blessed me. Thank you so much. You're more than welcome. Okay. Sewing is my second business. I love it. However, I'm glad to see you. Where you been, Darden? I'm sad to see you. I save to understand. I watch God perform miracles. I sew and relax, and now I'm ready for sale. Okay. This is the last push of the night. I don't want you to give your work away, even if you can afford to. I want you to know your worth, because when you get hungry, you need to go buy a loaf of bread or some milk or your favorite chips or your favorite meal. That job is only going to pay you so much. And right now, your jobs are just paying you enough to survive in most instances. Okay? So I want you to get in a habit of putting a price tag on your items and selling it and feel good about selling something because it came from you. Can't nobody do it like you. Everybody look, if you make, Darn, you say you're in healthcare, right? So you're in healthcare and you love your job, but it's not paying you enough. I think that's what you told me one time. Or it's not paying you as much as you think you should, that you're worth. All right? Correct me if I'm understanding it. Well, let me tell you about jobs. jobs, businesses have a lot of bills. They have to pay a lot of workman's comp. They have to pay a lot of taxes. So they have a small threshold of profit in some instances, especially with the stock market going up and down. So a business can only pay you so much because they have to pay you when business is good and when business is bad. So if they say, look, we're only going to give you 3 days this week, and your bills are based on 5 days. Your bills are based on 40 hours, and your bills are based on so much money you're going to make per year. All right, let's be real. When that job start cutting your hours because they know how much money they have left to pay payroll for the month, for the year, for the next 5 years, whether the stock market is coming in or not, like hospitals are closing, severance packages are given, but they're going to run out. If you start your sewing business selling it, now everybody I feel is sewing right now or starting to sew right now. Start, if you're just starting, learn how to price it and learn how to sell it and be aggressive about it. Say, hey, I got something to sell. Would you like to see it? Some people just don't like to sell, but everything has to be sold. Gas, chips, watermelon, chewing gum, everything has to be sold. Okay. So get in the habit of selling and be proud of selling it. It's called being an entrepreneur. I am now an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means I sell something to you. I have a business to sell. Okay. You have to sell yourself. Everything is sold, even the color of the stop sign. The red on the stop sign, they had to sell that color red. They had to sell that color white. So don't feel like, oh man, here she goes selling something again. No, be like, hey, what you got in there to sell today? I want to see what you got. Be that type of salesman where they want to see what you made. Oh, okay, I got somebody can do that. And you can do it. Just switch it up a little bit. Switch with the time. If it's Christmas time, make something Christmas. If it's cold and you don't like holidays, make something warm. If you like doing vacation wear, show that you do vacation wear. If you making Sunday hats, I make a lot of hats. Show that you do church hats. Show that you do winter hats. Show that you make Christmas ornaments. Show that you make pillows. I mean, make something quick and basic that you can make within an hour that you can put on a price and say, I feel comfortable selling at this price. And then make more. Start on the low end, then the middle end, and the high end. Don't always have all your sales low. Don't have all your sales high. Go from small, medium, to large pricing. And if you do that, you're going to have more people to buy your middle pricing. And then when you get your big fish, like the people really got the money, they're going to buy 4 or 5 of your high end prices. That's where you know your high end prices are still not high enough. So you have the capability of making the item. If you can make it, you can sell it. If you can sell it, you can be extremely wealthy and financially secure. That don't mean beating up somebody and making them spend more than they worth. That means that you are selling them a part of you. And that's what makes everybody feel good because they want to buy something that didn't come from a foreign country that nobody know. They want to feel the connection. And make sure when you showing the pictures or you sending the pictures on your phone to somebody of what you make sure you have your hand on it. Make sure you have your hand on it. And what that hand means is it's handmade. It's a silent way of, I made this. Okay. If you send in 10 pictures, put your hand on it. It's proven to sell when somebody know that you made it. Now, I took my nails off a long time ago after COVID because I show you I really work now. Now I'm fishing too. So, but I like to have my hand on stuff and it's shown psychologically when people know that you made it, you have your hand. And if you have bad looking hands, you can do the palm of your hand like this. You can do it where you don't have to show your hand, the whole hand, if you feel like your hands are not pretty enough. Okay. I used to think that I thought my hands not pretty enough. But guess what? When I broke a nail, I still made money. I still made money if I had broke nails. All right. Okay, everybody. It's been great. Thank you so much. And I am so glad to be a part of your world and let you learn so much from me. And I learn a lot from you. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let someone know that you care about them, and let's keep Jamaica in our prayers that they will get the food and water that they need. It's very hot there right now, and even to see the animals that didn't make it is heart wrenching. So if you have a head over your roof, you got a bed to sleep in, and you can be with some family that love you and take care of you and help you and nourish you. We're blessed tonight. All right. Love you all. See you later. Bye bye.